Hey there everyone, not just your average Joe here, and I'm gonna be making a video, like a top 10 video on my most useful units in my Fire Emblem Heroes account thus far. I'll probably try to perfect this in the future. I don't have a scale right now that ranks the units, it's off the top of my head. So without further ado, I'm gonna start with number 10. So number 10 is going to be Sully. And Sully was incredibly useful. Well, first of all, let me point out, like, this my first ever summoning kind of package was Gaius, Sarah, Florina, Bartre, and Sully. So you can see that third row right there. So as you can see, my first silver pull was Sarah, and my second silver pull was Sully. So what makes Sully incredibly useful, what made her, and what still makes her incredibly useful is her Sapphire Lance plus her Swordbreaker. I mean, Spur Defense could use a little bit of work. And you know, even look at her SP 624. That's how much I invested in her. So the reason why I really liked her was back when I first started, I wanted to beat the main story with just Alphonse, Anna, and Sharina, and I would have a filler unit every now and then. It would be Sarah. Every now and then it would be Sully. So Sully was really useful in killing like this, you know, a lot. There's a lot of sword units when you look at the chapters. There's always like at least one, well, most anyways. And you know you can see the bosses, like, you know, you see Lucina, Eliud, Ryoma, Crom, Roy, Marth, Xander. Like, she has an advantage over all of them. And you know, she was incredibly useful for Princess of Death when I was trying to beat it when I first started out. So yeah, that's everything I had to say about Sully. Rather sentimental to me. I do have a soft spot for her, so I don't think she's going anywhere else, because she helped me so much during the beginning of the game. Anyways, without further ado, let's move on to number 9. So number 9 is gonna be Anna. And when you look at Anna, I invested a lot in her. Like, look at her SP, and then she's already got all her skills down. The reason why I really liked Anna was because when I was trying to beat the main story, both Alphonse and Sharina were kind of weak to lance units. Sharina because of her low-ish defense, and Alphonse for obvious reasons. So Anna was incredibly useful because she was an axe unit. She had the advantage, and not exactly tanky herself, but the advantage did come in handy a lot of times, especially when Asteroid activates. So it came clutch in a lot of situations, and it's really her Nurse Joy-esque archetype that she has, or Nurse Joy-esque character that she has, in the sense that she's kind of like a recurring character in all the Fire Emblem games. In the older games, he would be a secret shop seller, so maybe that's the reason why she is like a kind of like a merchant. And I know in a lot of the older games too, she'd be like, when you suspend your progress in the map, she'd be the one kind of like asking you or saying, would you like to suspend your progress or whatever. So yeah, I like, and the secret shop feature I really miss. It's something that new Fire Emblem games don't offer. Kind of like I guess everyone will find out eventually, but it's just like a nifty feature that I really miss. Like, trying to find which chapter she'd be in, which map, and then what she sold was like evolution items, and then you'd have to have the silver card, and you'd have to find that, which made and the silver card was usually hidden. It wasn't usually given to you. Like all that just to get all these items, just to evolve our buffs, our buff items, kind of like the angelic robe and stuff. Like, I really do miss that. Like, that's just like a small time feature, and like clearly it wasn't missed in the newer games, but like I do miss it. It's something I would really like in the new Fire Emblem. Well, that one is pretty similar to the older games, so I don't think that they were gonna stray too far off, but I just really miss that, and I hope that the newer games, like FE 14 or whatever is the next Fire FE 15, will have that feature. I digress. Yeah, sorry about that. A little bit of a rant. So I'm gonna move on to number 8. So when you look at my obtain units, Sharina, obviously, well, I made her gold, but my first gold pull ever was Raven, so I have a soft spot for Raven as well. He was also one of my favorite characters in Eliud's game. Like, he has a lot of character to him. Like, I don't want to spoil a lot of stuff, but he has a beef with Hector. He's Priscilla's brother, he's Priscilla's brother, and he's kind of Lucy's OTP. Like, once preparing, he was he was one of the better units in the game as well. Like, he was that mercenary you started off with, so I'm sure you know what I mean. Like that mercenary that comes out of nowhere, usually mysterious and like has a mysterious backstory. Yeah, he's part of the archetype. Kind of disappointed he doesn't use the sword, because as a mercenary he can only use swords, and then he became an axe user. But he explains that in the sport conversation. Yeah. Anyways, we're moving right along. Like, I invested in him a little bit, not as much as the other two, but I still invested in him enough. It was useful for training. The Brave Axe sometimes would leave unit and so what I like to do was bring weak units into high stratums and then feed them kills. So Raven was good for that, because the Brave Axe sometimes wouldn't kill. It would give them like leave with 5 or 6 HP, which would be enough, because usually his strength and defense was extremely useful. I mean, he has pretty synergistic skill, like passive and active skills, especially his weapon. I would prefer a Defiant attack personally, but that's how it is. Like, you work with what you've got. So I'm gonna move on to number 7. So number 7 is going to be Effie. So when you look at my obtained list, you check it out. You're gonna see that Effie was actually one of my most recent pulls. So Effie is a fantastic unit. Even as the 4-star, she's really good. I mean, the army of one label she wears is like you'd think that she's kind of like an exaggeration, but she could, if in some cases she does. So as you can see, I've invested a lot in her. I gave her a Donald. She has a lot of skills. Like, she doesn't have a lot of SP because I've done a lot of skill inheriting. So but I have invested her a lot. Like, I only got her recently, and she's already one of my best units. Like, hands down, she's gonna help me out in those armored ally specific quests. Like, come on, hurry up, please. You can do it, internet. So we're gonna go into this 10th stratum for the armored allies, or this lunatic march challenge or something. Yeah, so she's gonna come in really handy for those quests. And overall, fantastic unit. I gave her a Brave Lance, works well in conjunction with Death Blow, and I have a minus speed one, so that's probably the ideal one since she has a worry fighter. So yeah, there's nothing more I can say. Like, she destroys sword units. She's incredibly useful in the arena. This is actually my arena team right now. I got nothing more to add. Just a fantastic unit overall. I can see why he's like on the S tier for the tier list. So yeah. With that said, I'm gonna move on to the last one for now, number 6. So number 6 is going to be Sharina. So Sharina was incredibly useful because she was a lance unit, and she came in handy against all the sword units. The same reason as Sully, the same reason as Effie. Effie's only really ranked lower. It's like maybe they're on the same plane as in terms of being like a unit overall, but they have different roles. She's just higher on the list because clearly I've invested a lot in her. I have a personal bias. She's one of my favorite characters too, as well. And it's a new game, so that surprised me as well. Love the voice actress, love her art. I like everything about her. Her skills pretty good, like not too bad. Great support that really helped me out when I was starting out. Do not regret 5-starring her at all. And then if you look at the amount of SP she has, I gotta get skill inheriting her. Like, I used her so much it wasn't even funny. I mean, she was really useful obviously when I was starting out, but I just do have a personal bias as well, and I have an a really big soft spot for her. So that's everything I have for now. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be coming out. The 5 to 1 video will be coming out sometime tomorrow or after the weekend. Thank you for watching, and later days.